haven't necessarily been the best for me. So it's kind of been like just kind of a slog to get through.
Yeah, I'm not excited to be back at work tomorrow.
Oh, I still have off
No
tomorrow.
gaming for employment.
It's good they have off tomorrow. I do not. I was originally going to take it off, but they're like, "Oh, we need you for this very specific thing." It's like, well, fuck you too.
Very specific that only you can do it. Very specific that they're just saying we just want you.
A little bit of both. Someone else could definitely do what I do, but we also are short-staffed as it is, so it's kind of like, I understand.
All right. Well, no random conversation intro this time around. Everyone, welcome back to episode number 33 of For the Love of Prod. As always, I'm joined by Huntertain and Megalass, and our guest this week is MisterYeti. Mr. Yeti, man, thank you so much for taking some time out of your Labor Day night to do this podcast with us.
It's all good. I was ready to be done this weekend. Kids have driven me nuts, so ready to just unwind over here.
There's a part of me that fears the day if I ever have kids, like what these kind of long off weekends are gonna be for me, because like, I can't do what I normally do, which is normally I work on weekends. But it's like I would want to play games too, like video games with kids. But it's like, nah, they probably won't like the games that I like.
Hey, they learn eventually. It's like conditioning. It's behaviorism. You just got to keep you dangling the treats. Just say, hey, sit with me. Get some fruit snacks.
Let me ask you this: have you ever, when your kids were growing up, did you ever hand them a control and say, hey, look, you're doing this, and they're not playing at all?
So yes, yes. My kids like to watch me play Pokemon on the Switch. That was the one that was that kind of their first real intro to video games, and they loved watching me. It was specifically the one that kind of took off for us was Pokemon, the Let's Go Pikachu. They loved that one, and that's kind of what got them into it. And then eventually, I didn't realize this at first, but you could have the second player added, and that's how my kids first got interested in video games. And now my son is addicted to Minecraft, and my daughter is playing through her first Final Fantasy games now. So she's kind of getting into like JRPG type stuff. She wants to play Persona and things like that. And I was just kind of like, oh, all right, cool. So
I've never played a Final Fantasy. I was like, oh, Minecraft, yeah, that fits very well for kids. The moment you said Final Fantasy, I was like, okay.
You have to remember, I am an old school gamer at least with regards to today's level of games. My introduction to video games, my first like real hardcore kind of video gaming experience was Final Fantasy VII. And it's still, in my opinion, the best game I've ever played. Love Final Fantasy VII, always will. I still play it from time to time. But so for me, like the Final Fantasy series is always going to be nostalgic to my heart. And I love the series for that reason. It brings back those memories of 12-year-old me sitting in my basement, just I'm laying down on my elbows, just playing, trying to get through the first disc. So those are the days.
Like, here's I never, like I said, I never played Final Fantasy, so I have no like idea of how like challenging those games are. But I'm like trying to think of like what was the first hard game that I ever played. And I feel like it's sad to say it was Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you aged me just a little bit there. Thank you.
I aged myself. I was playing that when I was 5.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, now I feel older. Thank you. keep going. It's going great for me.
But here, I'm gonna ask Mega, have you played any of the Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee games? That was like I think one of the only Pokemon games I never played on the Switch.
Oh no, I played it. After beating it and shiny hunting for a couple of hours, I immediately decided to sell my copy back to GameStop for like 7 cents. But it like they are very like kid friendly entries to the Pokemon series, so I absolutely understand that.
Hunter, what about you?
I physically own the game. It's currently sitting about 8 feet away from me, right over there. And yes, I have beaten it. I enjoyed it. I liked going through Kanto again. It's not my favorite game in the world, but for what it is,
No.
I like it.
It's hardly my favorite Pokemon game, but it was fun.
No,
it was fun at the time I played it.
It's really easy. And Pokemon games are usually easy as they are, but that one was like, my dog could probably beat Pokemon Let's Go Eevee.
Bro's never done a Nuzlocke, and it shows.
I
but
have
Nuzlocks are pretty
streams
easy,
of me
so-
doing Nuzlocks. I have streams.
Okay, wait. I actually do need to derail this for a second. Yeti, what is the favorite Pokemon game then? What is the favorite?
There's one answer. There's one right
okay.
answer.
Well, there's a lot of pressure all of a sudden.
Not one right answer.
I'll be real with you. I am very partial to X and Y.
Base.
So
Nah, you're spitting. Go ahead.
But you have to remember, again, speaking in the same realm of like first hardcore gaming experience, I was in 5th grade when Pokemon Red came out. Pokemon Red and Blue. My first Pokemon game was Pokemon Blue. And I will say that there is still a part of me that loves the old school Pokemon games. And honestly, like looking back at the old Pokemon games, I would say for me, Pokemon Y, number 1.
Base.
Pokemon Sword and Sword Shield for me, number 2. Love
And
Sword
you
Shield.
lost me.
I'm sorry.
Never mind.
I love Sword Shield. Hey, y'all can, you're entitled to your opinions, even if they're wrong. And then honestly, for me, 3, just give me blue. Just give me blue.
Okay, I can accept 2 of those. But wait, now I'm curious, Hunter. What do you say is number 1?
Oh, you want number 1? Because I got it right fucking here. I'm gonna tell you what number 1 is. All right.
Oh my god, if you hold up platinum, I'm actually leaving the call.
He's been telling
No.
me he had to buy a fucking Game Boy to play this game again.
Yes, I did. Which, by the way,
Is
they
it
sent me a
Gold,
fucking
Silver?
DS instead of a Game Boy. Yep. No, well, you are right there. It's Pokemon Crystal, is what it is.
Oh,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
That is number 1, and then number 2 is
That's
Soul
fine.
Silver Heart Gold.
Hunter's
that
been telling
is.
me the saga like
Soul Silver, Arc Gold are good.
Hunter's been telling me the saga of how he wanted to play Crystal again, so he bought Crystal. Then he had to buy a Game Boy. Well, hey, it said Crystal was getting there like a week before the Game Boy got there. Crystal got
Yeah.
there. The Game
Could
Boy
have just
gets
done an emulator.
good on that.
But I wanted the genuine experience. I can do
That's
it right
fair.
now in 5 minutes. That's true. But
That's
I want to be
fair.
able to go sit on the couch on a Friday night and sit there with a fucking Game Boy like I'm 9 years old again.
So you have to remember, Sword Shield was like so for Pokemon games for me. Again, I'm going back to that old age of gaming. Like Gold Silver was the game that I played, and then I stopped playing Pokemon for a really long time. I didn't jump back into Pokemon until XY. So I missed out on Sun Moon. I didn't play Sun Moon. I didn't play Diamond and Pearl when they first came out. Didn't play Black and White when they first came out. So I missed several generations. I got back into it. Like my first real big experience was Y, and then after that, my next really big experience was Sword Shield, and that's also. And then again, this is a sentimental thing for me too, because Sword Shield was the first game that my daughter got into video games, started playing Pokemon. It's the first Pokemon game that she beat, and she was so excited. And legitimately, like gaming dad win right there for me was seeing her face light up when she finally won that game. And it was just like, all right, kid, you got it. You sold me. And in the end, like that will always have a bit of nostalgia for me. And I used to sit there and play with my kids watching. And you'd go into the Mega Evolution or the Dynamax raids, and you'd go into those, and like they would just be like, whoa, look at the size of that Caterpie or something like that. Just ridiculous like things, and they just love that. So it just there's a huge nostalgia memories thing for me for Sword and Shield, and that is why I know some people hate the game, and I understand, but like in the end, for me, there's too many good core memories tied up into that game at this point.
No, see, now I can't hate on it as much, but
you can't.
Just remember, if you hate on it, you're hating on my children.
True.
I mean,
Dexatron,
listen, I am not against hating on a child. I'll say it. I'll say that gladly. But No,
That's a
listen,
clip.
fine. Yeah, no, that's
Dex,
totally
You know
Dex,
that
I'm
already.
gonna keep the derail going for about 2 more minutes. I need to retrieve something so I can
Yeah.
properly convey my crash out
Yeah,
because I've already told you this, but
yeah,
they
no.
do
So
not know.
I'm gonna continue on the derailment here.
Do
I
your thing,
haven't said
buddy.
what my favorite Pokemon game is.
yeah.
Honestly, like I feel like I'm gonna get flack for this, but it's Arceus. Like that, I
Yeah,
generally.
you're gonna get
fine.
flack for it.
I-
Yeah,
No,
you're
I
gonna
think
get.
that was the most fun I ever had with a Pokemon game. Outside of that, it was probably Diamond and Pearl, Platinum.
Okay, fuck you. Eat shit.
That was the first one I played.
Whoa.
That was the first one I
Listen,
played. But at the same time,
this is a
No.
we hate Sinnoh household over
no,
here.
no.
Okay.
Let me finish, Megan. Let me finish this. I
Okay.
played through the first 2 gyms, and then my brother asked if he could have my DS because he had not played Pokemon in like 5 years at that point. I didn't get that shit back until he beat the game, started a new game, beat it again, and then got me back to the point where I originally gave it to him 8 months later, and I had lost all interest in playing Pokemon. Oh god.
I mean,
No, like the funny thing is I'm now in like a draft league with my brother and a lot of his friends, and it's so dumb what the winner gets to do. In the league, it's basically the winners gets to choose what the icon on Discord will be. So normally it's been like waifus. No, the person who won it last year said, "I want Jesus Christ to be the icon." So anytime I open up Discord now, there is Jesus Christ holding up 2 Pokeballs that I just see. It's fucking hilarious.
That's
uh,
amazing.
see, my opinion on Pokemon is honestly like jaded compared to the normal person, but I still give other people shit just because I did play it competitively for a few years. But yeah, I mean, listen, Pokemon's just great. It's a great franchise.
Yeah.
Anyone at home, if you're not like playing a Pokemon game just casually for fun, you should do that on the side because it's fun. It's chill. It's great.
1000%.
Okay, I thought Hunter was back.
No, Hunter's not even back. All right, so anyway, this will actually let me segue into my I hate Sinnoh segment, so this is fine. Sinnoh is for dumb, stupid children. You go through Mount Coronet like 9 fucking times in that goddamn game. Like, actually, the pathing of like somebody who does not have arms, potentially. That might actually be an insult to those who don't have arms because they could definitely make something better than going through Mount Coronet 7 times. But yeah, it's that game makes me so angry, and then people are like, "Oh, it's my favorite game. I love Platinum." Da, 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 da. I'm like, "No, you're wrong. Your opinion is wrong."
Okay, Hunter.
All right,
Let's have your crash out so we can get back on track.
Yeah, quick crash out saga. First of all, I like all video games. I like all Pokemon. As for instance, in my hand right now is a Game Boy Pocket with Pokemon Blue currently on it right now. I know it's all fucked up because of the green screen, but that's what's in it. It's great. It's amazing. I love it. And I decided I wanted to have the same experience with Pokemon Crystal. And guess what? I decided, like an absolute dumbass, to order all my stuff through eBay, which I never had a problem with eBay before. I got my game perfectly fine. I got my charger perfectly fine. And the next day, it shows up, the package that is supposed to have my Game Boy SP, the best type of Game Boy ever created on the whole face of this planet. Does this look like a motherfucking Game Boy?
If you close your eyes and
I
squint a
mean,
little bit,
my grandmother would have called it a Game Boy.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Dirty as fuck. Came with no charge on it, by the way. No stylus. I got no games. It can't play color
Like
games.
a PS5.
What am I supposed to do with this? So now I have to wait for them for a week to send me back a return sticker to send it back for a refund eventually when it gets there, and then they don't even have more SPs in fucking stock. Ooh.
So, just to make sure I understand, everything's fine?
No.
wait, how could the Yeti leave?
Wait. Wait, yet
Yeti left. Why did Yeti leave?
wait.
I don't know.
He's still wait.
He's doing something. He's doing something. This is gonna be content right here. I can tell already. The way he's looking around, I love it.
I
love it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that.
There we go.
You mean to do that?
Oh, good.
No, my Discord cut out for a second.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. I don't think
Beautiful.
he meant to do that, y'all. I think his Discord just fucking died.
Yeah, no, you'd be correct. My Discord just died. So
Yeah,
my
unfortunate.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
All right.
that's my crash out. So yeah.
No, we like the occasional crash out, but 15 minutes into this podcast, why don't we actually get on to the thing that we normally get to within maybe the first 5, at least 10 minutes of it. So, yeah, you said you've listened to the podcast here and there, so you probably know where we're going with this here. We want to ask you the question of what got you into esports and what got you into doing, esports production and that kind of stuff.
Oh boy. Man, it's complicated. So I first got involved back in 2017, or maybe 2016 even. I think it might have been 2016. Wow. Or 2017, one of the two. But I first got involved with a friend of mine, same Solitary Bird, former Trank Goat. He was basically like, hey, and we played Overwatch together. We reconnected over Overwatch. We were friends in college. Didn't talk to each other then for about 8 years. And then all of a sudden it was just like, hey, play Overwatch? And then we reconnected over that. And then he said, yeah, I'm on a team and we're going to be playing in this new tournament called Tranquility. And it's brand new and we're going to do this. Do you want to be a part of it? And I said, yeah, sure. And I loved it. I had a ton of fun initially. And the owner at the time was somebody I was good friends with. And I just was kind of like, season 2 rolled around and he's like, yeah, I need help. I need some staff members. And I said, sure, sign me up. Be happy to help. I loved, kind of stepping into those roles and helping out where I can. And I had no idea at that point it would turn into what it did. If you asked me that this is where I would be today, where everything is chaos and, it's been almost 10 years now or approaching 10 years very quickly of working in this space, I would have called you crazy. I would have called you crazy if you thought that Trank would have been what it was and that what SPCS is would be what it was too. I would have called you absolutely nuts. I've met countless people who've gone on to do amazing things, and it's just been a remarkable journey from beginning to end. But it was just on a whim with a friend. I just said, hey, I'd love to do this tournament thing, and from there it just turned into what it is now, which is just this really crazy ride, really crazy roller coaster we've been on. And now, just, yeah, it was on a whim and I went with it and I fell in love with it. So, yeah.
I feel like for a lot of people we've talked to, and also just a lot of people in general, I feel like that's the same thing. It's like, we're gonna try this out, see what happens, and it's just like, oh fuck, how the fuck am I running this shit now? Or like,
yeah,
how did I get here? Because it's one of those things where you never, like you said, on a whim, you're just doing it maybe for what you probably thought when you first got into it, a season or two, and then you'll see what happens. Maybe you'll drop out, maybe you'll hang around and just lurk. But like,
right.
We'll probably talk more about Trank to SPCS a little bit later on
in
the episode. But like, I feel like esports is really one of those things where, unlike traditional sports, it's like, yeah, it was just like, fuck it, I decided to try something. It's like, oh wow, I'm really good at it. Now it's like, oh, how the fuck did I get here? Where people are like actually coming to me and asking me stuff.
Yeah, I had no idea it would turn into this. It's kind of crazy. Even when I started things in season 2, I just like the whole thing with me. It started with that podcast, The Iris, for Trank. In season 2, we were just like me and my old buddy Thuggington. Speaking of Trank goats, me and him were just like, let's just do this thing. It'll be fun. And it turned out to be a blast. We had such a great time with it. And it just kind of blossomed from there. If anything, that content creation aspect just kind of helped me fall in love with the space even more, and just kind of seeing where not only the potential was with, obviously running these kind of events and creating the production behind these events, but creating all the content you can behind the scenes. It's kind of that idea of it spawned this idea in my head where it's just I wanted to create something with Trank, or and I shouldn't just say me. Obviously, there's a lot of people behind the scenes, but we wanted to create something with Trank where we wanted to be bigger feeling than just a little Plat Overwatch tournament. That was our thought process. Is how can we make this feel like more than it actually is? How can we make this feel like a big deal? And a lot of that came from the idea of like, what would be just cool to see? Like, yeah, I am in Plat in Overwatch. I shouldn't have like highlight videos about or people talking about my team beating another team in a tournament and have there be like a podcast derived content around my Plat team. Like nobody cares about your Plat team in the grand scheme of things, but we made it something big. We made it something important that felt important. And that was our goal is we wanted to put, I wanted to create something that felt like bigger than just an Overwatch tournament, that bigger than just a amateur level, no money exchange type of thing. I wanted to create that experience of real esports. And did we always succeed? No, but it was that suddenly became a passion of mine, is creating that space that I know I would have loved as a kid. You have to remember when I started doing this, Dex, I was almost 30 years old. I was 29 years old when I started. So, oh boy. But when I'm
not going to ask how old you are now.
37. When I started in this space, like for me, it was like, wow, if I had this when I was like 16, 17, 18, that could have been amazing for me, not only socially, but just mentally as well. Like I had tons of mental health problems when I was that age. It was not a good time for me. And I got through everything, thankfully. But at the same time, like knowing that I could help create a space, I wanted to create this space that felt big. So people became passionate about it and cared about each other and cared about the people around them. And just you keep building upon that. And the content kind of creates this banter and this dialogue about this tournament that, again, doesn't mean shit in the grand scheme of things because we are just Plat and Diamond Overwatch players. But we are creating a community that's centered around the idea that this place means something. And that was something that it felt so special. And because that feeling got fostered in season 2, I became addicted to it. And from there, the passion was set. My heart was set on doing this stuff. And I said, I knew in my heart of hearts that I was going to keep doing this until I could truly look at myself in the mirror and say, I have no passion for this anymore. And I haven't gotten there yet. Been close a couple times, but I haven't gotten there yet.
I would imagine. Quick sidebar. Yo, Hunter, Mega, you guys want to make this podcast into a podcast about our CGL team?
Oh my God.
Shout out Head Rammer.
Let's go.
I'm confused as to what the segue is for this. Or are you just deciding to just derail this yourself?
Derail it for this one quick question, and then we'll go right back.
Okay.
Then we'll go right back. But I mean, here you kind of talked about Yeti, that what's that fucking hell, I can't speak. But one moment here.
You got this. You'll figure it out.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Someone does. But you kind of mentioned towards the end there, like you're gonna do this as long as like something where it's been where you really enjoy doing it. And let's just ask that question. What kind of you guys tell us what got you in? What kind of keeps you coming back? Is it all that enjoyment, or is there anything else besides that really keeps you coming back to do this?
There was a joke that we used to say back in like season 6 of Trank. It's just kind of like how in Breaking Bad, sometimes you just get too deep. There's no coming out at that point. Either they kill you or you stay in it for the rest of your life. It's kind of the vibe at a certain point. It's just like, if I leave, then I'm gonna have, like Munching from Ignition is gonna come up and just like kill me because he doesn't have his tournament to play in anymore. That's not actually true, but you understand what I'm getting at. It's just the idea of like, if I actually left, I'm pretty sure the scene would kill me. No, but in genuine, like, it's never a feeling of being in too deep because I actually feel like I never do enough, as dumb as that is. This is just kind of the mindset that I have. This is the way I am as a person. I never feel like I'm doing enough. Even when I'm dumping every waking free hour into tournaments and into this content creation aspect, I still feel like I'm never doing enough. That's always been the way I am. I never feel satisfied. I'm never satisfied with what I'm doing. And like, I think that's what keeps me going more than anything else, is the feeling like, God, I could do this better. I bet if I just put a little bit more time into this could be better. And then part of it too is, and this is gonna sound maybe a little egotistical, but just bear with me here. Most tournaments in the amateur Overwatch scene kind of suck. Just being honest with you, there's a lot of really poorly ran tournaments out there. And I think for me, part of it is just like, why aren't we doing better? How can we do better? And like, how can we create an environment that's better in this scene? And I love Overwatch. I always will. And here's the genuine truth on Overwatch. I don't think I've played a game of Overwatch in about 8 months, but I still love Overwatch. I love Overwatch. Love this game. I love the story around it. What's there at least. I love the characters. I love the gameplay. It's such a fantastic game in my opinion. It's a borderline perfect concept of a game. Is it perfect? No, but borderline. But I love the concept of Overwatch. But I see the esports space just so filled with either really poorly ran at the top in some cases, unfortunately, which I wish was better. It's been better. For what it's worth, Faceit has been, in my opinion, Faceit has been a glowing success in a lot of ways. There's been some problems. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no,
but
there has been.
But in many ways, Faceit has helped reinvigorate aspects of the scene that haven't been going in a long time. OWCS, I mean, we're seeing successes with OWCS already. We're seeing players actually come out of Faceit and get into OWCS opportunities. And I think that's really neat. I think seeing a team like Dilducks, which Dilducks got their butt kicked in OWCS. No doubt about that. Shout out PDK, by the way. But like,
as well.
Yes, there's so many OGs there. It's crazy. Calling PDK an OG feels so weird, by the way. But you have to remember, I've known PDK since he was on a little Harmony tier Tranquility team called DDoS. And he was a Junkrat one trick. And he was plat as hell. And he just played basically Junkrat, and that was pretty much it. And he was just plat as hell, man. Let me tell you. But now seeing him where he is now is crazy, for the record. Still can't believe that. Same with Rocket, by the way. When I first met Rocket, season 2 of Tranquility, he was a mid-diamond like Reaper player. That's how we first met him. That's how we first knew him. And there's a line in that Thuggington said back then, which was, and I'm derailing a little bit here, I'm sorry. But it was, because Rocket was being talked about like for awards and stuff. And Rocket and Thug on the podcast made the comment, Rocket's nothing but a mid-diamond Reaper one trick. And it's just crazy to see these faces that I've been around for years and years and years. And I like, people like Door, by the way, like Door, casting legend that he is. I met him through Trank. I casted with him in his very first match that he ever cast in Overwatch. So I have a little bit of a little soft spot there for that. But I mean, you understand like these trends and these things. And it's just like, those things always will keep me coming back. Like just these experiences that I've had have been such important memories for me socially and emotionally. And, it's been, I have all these cool memories and I want to keep reliving those. And for what it's worth, I've been around for so long. I've made some really good friends. Like a lot of the staff in SPCS, like they're really cool people. And I'm, 10 to 15 years older than some of them, and they're great. They're just great people, and I love working with them. I love chatting with them. I love gaming with them. They're just great people. And like that keeps me coming back too, is the people in the scene just kick ass. I love the people in the scene, man. Like, again, shout outs to some of the goats, like Headrammer, Solomon, like you guys too, also goats. But the people keep me coming back. Like the people in the scene just kick ass. I cannot say that enough. There's so many great casters, so many great producers, so many great tournament organizers. Navino, I met him because of him running GGNA, and then obviously the curse of the marsupial teams. But like Navino became a great friend because of our connection over running tournaments together. So over running tournaments, him running GGNA, me helping run Trank, and then eventually running Trank. Like we had this bond over that initially. And that's kind of what led to us, going to where we are, which I know you're getting to later. I'll save you more. But like, it's, those things just keep me coming back constantly because I love everything about the people in the scene. And until they're gone, until I'm, either dementia hits me or what, you're not going to get rid of me anytime soon.
I'm trying to find one of the fucking Navino. Goddamn. Yep, there it is.
Uh-oh.
Why the fuck? I hate that. It's so fucking.
Wait, hold on. Oh, you put it in the chat? Okay, I got to see it here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
1 second.
He's watching. He's lurking.
Everyone's going to see it very soon.
One of my favorite DeVito memories, by the way, and I gotta say this here. So yeah, there you go. It's perfect. He lurks. One of my favorite DeVito memories is we were doing an episode of The Iris, and DeVito is such a shithead that he's like sitting there just chatting with us, and all of a sudden, like, I hear his door, like a door knock, and he's like, "All right, I gotta go. I gotta get my nachos, guys." He just gets up in the middle of a sentence, goes and gets his DoorDash, comes back, and he just starts just mowing on nachos while we're producing this podcast. And I was just like, dude, what the fuck? Because all you can hear is because he's not muting his microphone as he's biting. And I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me, dude. Like, come on. Just put down the fucking nachos for a minute. Because all I can see right now is you. Like, it's just like, bro, come on, man. And it's nachos. It's not like it's a quiet food. Why couldn't it be soup? Why couldn't you have had podcast soup? Instead, you brought.
He would not have made it quiet. He would have been slurping.
Yeah, Navino strikes me as a soup slurper. Let me tell you. Let's put it that way. But no, and it's just those are the memories, right? But again, that's what keeps me coming back, Dex. It's just that stupid stuff like that. These relationships you form with people. It's just so cool. It's just such a neat experience, and I just, in the end, these stupid things that we do just keep me coming back.
I was desperately trying to search for the Navino gif where he's on like the fucking power scooter or whatever.
Oh, I have it. Hold on, I got you. Hold on.
That was the first time I met Navino. That was at DreamHack Dallas.
Yeah.
And he's working some event there, and they give him. Yep.
For the record, I made this GIF.
Oh dear God!
I did. I made the GIF. He was cleaning up and helping put stuff away, and he got the scooter, and he was just pulling it around. It was just funny. So
fun fact,
just classic Navino type stuff right there.
Fun fact: I'm probably 1 foot to the left of whoever was filming this. What was going on? But like Navino's someone I want to have on at some point here. But like you bring up Door, and it's very funny to think like because Door's been someone like I kind of wish would come like they've been quiet for the last maybe year and a half when it comes to casting.
Yeah.
I think I randomly have their last cast that they did as well. Like you have their first Yeti. I might honestly have to this moment right now. Maybe their last, because he filled for someone in the last season of Trank. That was just so random that he.
Well, the thing is we stayed connected. Like even after he went on to bigger and better things, we still stayed connected. So like, and the thing was like he kept on coming in and talking to people and helping out a little bit here and there. Like then he started picking up prod shifts too, which we thought was awesome when he was picking up some prod stuff. And then just randomly out of nowhere, he just like, we were just like, hey, we really need a body for this. And he's like, yeah, I got you. And it was just like, this is, I believe, after he did Owl for the first time when he was doing when he did the Contenders mashup that they did. When he was doing Owl stuff. And it was just like, so this is after he had already gone and made it relatively big in the scene. And it was just like, that was amazing. But like, again, this kind of goes back to what I said. It's like you work with these great people that you get the opportunity to work with and you can learn from. And I learned countless things just from watching him cast and casting with him. And I gained a real passion for casting during that time. And that was part of the reason why I loved coming back too, is because about once a week I would also cast a match. I loved casting. I still, I genuine truth, guys. I would love to get back into casting again. I need to reset up my new office. Just moved, by the way. I need to set up my new office, put up my sound dampening, get new lighting, things like that. I have all these things I want to do eventually. But I'm just going to level with you right now. I just don't have time for that anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot commit the time to it. And I wish I could, because esports casting was something that was a genuine love. Like I love doing it. I love the sports casting was one of those things I wanted to do as a kid. I wanted to be a baseball like play-by-play guy. That was like one of the things I wanted to do. I loved like listening to. I was a Twins fan, so I listened to Herb Carneal, one of the goats. Shut up. They're doing bad. They're doing very bad. But I was listening to one of the broadcasting goats, Herb Carneal, and just listening to him or do radio commentary for the Twins. And then I also had Dick Bremer, who again, one of the great play-by-play guys for baseball of all time. Just fantastic broadcaster. And then I had Bob Uecker too for the Brewers. So it's just like you get all these greats. And then that just got me into the idea of becoming a broadcaster. And I just loved the idea of doing it so much. And then I obviously couldn't do it when I was in college, never really got into it, never had an opportunity. And then esports came up, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make this a thing, and I'm going to go with it. And me, again, some boomer who really has no business commentating on masters and up-level players, because I am firmly entrenched in gold and silver in this game. But I still had the opportunity to do that, and that was, again, it was beautiful. It was wonderful. What a great experience.
I think for casters, you don't like it helps to be really good at the game, but like up until maybe around this point last year, I still had I think 2 of the 3 roles like hard lock gold.
Oh God, I am so bad at Overwatch in general, and I'm probably way worse now because I've been so out of the game for so long that if I probably logged in and played, it's going to be really bad. But I'm saving it for a special occasion right now when I do go back. But we'll talk about
SPCS
that.
Charity stream, I'm imagining.
You know it. That's that's going to be my next time I play. It's going to be the Overwatch the charity stream. So we'll let that be a thing. But no, casting was so much fun, and I have so many memories kind of entrenched around broadcasting those big finals and stuff like that, and the big final call announcing that they won the league and all that stuff. It's just energy. It was hype. It was vibes. And like one of my first casts that I really got excited about, it was honestly, I think this cast like triggered my final ending of like loving broadcasting, is I got to do in season 2 of Tranquility was the Holy Jalapenos versus Undead Battery. I remember this game, even though it was literally like 7 years ago. I remember this game because it went to map 8 in a best of 7. And I just remember my voice was shot at the end, but I was still just screaming my way through it, just trying to plug through as hard as I could because it was just such a crazy cast. Undead Battery went up 3-1. It looked like they were going to take the match in map 6 and map 7, but Holy Jalapenos clutched up in a few huge circumstances and just came up with huge plays. They forced a tie on map 6 just barely, just by the skin of their teeth, just to hang on in the championship. They won map 7. They win map 8. It was just an incredible comeback experience. And to have the opportunity to broadcast, that was so much fun. Just like, what an experience. And like, that was just like the moment where I realized I'm hooked. I'm so hooked on this. And I never want to stop doing it. And then I did stop doing it, which again, I wish I had more time to do it, but that's neither here nor there.
But no, like, I'll say this: as someone who used to do a lot of play-by-play, like those were the moments I really enjoyed. Like being able to, it's a grand finals. You're trying to think of, something to say when both teams win, and having that call when it actually happens. Like, that is something I truly loved doing. And I Hunter and Mega can probably attest to this a little bit because I'm gonna be so pissed if I'm. Mega, you're doing more play-by-play now, or are you still?
You're so wrong. You're so wrong. You just don't know me at all. You hate me. Yeah, that's right. Walk
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
Shame,
bye.
shame.
Walk away. Walk away.
Keep going. Don't
I-
stop
Keep walking.
walking.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
I-
Into the
Stop.
street with you.
I definitely at some point said to him I was doing more play-by-play, but we're just gonna continue the gaslight.
Poor
While
Dex.
while Dex is stepped away, I mean, yeah, it genuinely like even though I'm like a color caster, like that's just what I prefer because I like to pretend that I'm the smartest human being in the room. Like play by play, coming up with those lines in the moment or just being able to bring the hype and energy to a finals, there's nothing else like it. Like genuinely, like that is the single-handedly the thing that makes people go to be a play-by-play caster instead of a color caster sometimes. It's just being able to do those hype moments because it's so much fun and just allows you to be so creative.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
It's so much fun. Like I have pretty much religiously done play by play. I've done color on a handful of instances, and that's like, oh, because I like working with Fletch, and Fletch is never going to do anything but play by play. So I'm like, all right, I'll color. That's fine. That'll be fun. But you seem to have a comment, Dex. Do you have a comment about
I was gonna say
Fletch?
I think I had the one time Fletch said he'll do color.
I can't imagine what that cast was like, but
It was
I enjoyed
awful. I
those.
can guess. I can guess that easily.
It was something. I don't
That
remember if it was
dude-
good or bad.
That dude is silver inside and out. I love Fletch to pieces. Slight tangent, but I actually was messaging Fletch yesterday because I was doing the Chase the Stars event, obviously, and getting to do that with CB. You know, she's great. We love CB, but you know, people love CB a lot, and it really sent flashes through my mind when everybody's like, "OMG, CB's casting my game. CB's casting my game." It sent flashes through my mind of when Timeless tweeted about me being the VTuber caster casting their game, and Fletch had to come into the replies himself and be like, "Hey, I heard our co-caster's cool too." Like it just gave off that vibe, and I just was like, "Oh, Fletch, I get it now. I'm sorry."
I'm here as well, guys. Okay.
Oh,
That's how I felt yesterday. It felt like such shit. I just was like, "Ah, fuck."
But yeah, I don't know. I feel that. But finishing my own tangent, or not really a tangent, it was actually answering the base question being presented. I just love doing play by play, specifically because it is those calls that you get to go back and hear. And for a while, it was, hey, I need to have something ready on the spot. Like I can't remember, it was Kingpins at a different team that was doing rookie playoffs, and I think it was the last season of Tranquility. And I'm sitting, and that was when I sat there for like 30 minutes beforehand. It's like, what the hell do I call for both of these teams? What do I do? What do I say? Nowadays, I don't do the prep for it, specifically because I trust myself enough to say I'm going to say something in the moment that is just going to click. Like the when we did the phase of playoffs, like the Midori magic line at the end. Didn't think of any of that beforehand. It just came to mind in that moment, and I'm like, all right, this is going to work. But I just like being able to be the loud guy because I am not the smart guy. I am not the man who particularly has the vocabulary of some of the people within our industry, but I can be loud. I can make moments feel better, and I can take pride in that at this point. So I don't know. Maybe people feel differently, but that's how I feel.
Just remember this: every color doesn't know what the hell they're talking about most of the times, unless your name is Spectreon
Whoa,
or Megalass.
I was gonna say, yeah, hold on.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
objectively correct at all times. Okay, if teams were to listen to me, they would all win every single game ever.
I could say something, but I'm not gonna.
No. Fire the
No,
shot.
no.
I'm ready for it. You got to fire the shot. Come on.
Okay, so are you gonna coach us through our CGL season this year?
No, I'm gonna play Wu Yang and watch you all lose and blame you. That's my current plan.
Let's just
Mega-
run brawl and win.
Mega is literally doing the gaslight girl gatekeep girl boss.
Absolutely, it's 2025. It's my turn to be the. I guess I've really been the annoying one for years, but you know it's still
Oh.
my turn.
Oh, actually, Megalass, did you see what team is in our division?
No, I did not.
Dex, do
I
you
don't
know?
look at things.
I haven't looked at the schedule.
Do you know who? Oh, well, I decided to look at the teams, and there's a couple teams I recognized from before, like Low Ground Main, Void Ravens. I know those guys. Atlas Keisaku is in our division as well, the CB team.
Oh,
Is she on the team?
Yeah.
she's on the team, but she's probably subbing the
That's
same as she did for Ka.
and she started every game.
Okay.
Well, that's because she was just popping off on Freya, and Freya was just like big at the time, and it's like, all right, bet. Stars have aligned.
Still have to aim. I don't care if it's just I'm playing the broken character. You still have to be able to fundamentally aim.
True.
Freya, you can play the ship without hands, but anyway. That's a tangent and a half.
Yeti, let's
Uh,
wait, Hunter. What were you gonna say?
I said anyway.
Yeah. So, Yeti, let's get to this part. You've talked about a lot, Tranquility, and I feel like for a lot of people who are newer to the scene, especially since the start of Face, where I feel like there's been a new surge of people coming in, people won't know what that is. People won't know what Trank or Tranquility was. They'll know what SPCS is now, or Spawn Point Champion Series or Championship Series.
The Spawn Point Championship Series, yes.
Yeah. People will know what that is a little bit, because I bet you that's been heard, but no one will necessarily know that Trank was the predecessor, and SPCS is essentially the sequel. But let's talk about Trank here for a little bit, because that was where I really got my main start. I think that's where I met Megalass. I think that's where I met Hunter. If not, there was CGL. But talk about just Trank here, because you already have talked about a decent amount. But like, talk about what you want to get into. If there's stuff that you don't necessarily want to talk about, especially with how it ended, talk about Trank here for a little bit.
It's complicated. Let's put it that way. I mean, I'll attack it forthright. So the original owner of Trank, Cavalier, or peer owner, he never stopped owning it, was a good friend. Good friend. We played we played games together. We played Overwatch together. We played other games together. Good dude. Really nice dude. Family guy. He was just a good guy, you know. And through a lot of what he did, I learned a lot from him. You know, some of the professionalism that he brought to the scene, I think, was something that was missing at that point. And that was one thing we kind of prided ourselves on, is that we did handle ourselves in as much of a professional way as possible with regards to how we ran the tournament. You know, and I think a lot of people just kind of ran things off vibes at a certain point when kind of this idea of running these smaller tournaments started. And because of that, a lot of them failed, or a lot of them just didn't really have the sauce to carry on. You know, Trank was what got me in, and I'm going to have a soft spot for what happened in Trank forever. It became a thing for me where creating content and creating a broadcast and creating just this vibe around the scene, again, that made it seem bigger than what it really actually was really important to us. And I mean, the people that I worked with were incredible, truly, throughout the scene, were just amazing. And I get so much credit for Trank, and I don't think I've earned all that. I truly don't. The people that I worked with were insanely talented. Like, I mean, some of the OGs, Thuggington, obviously, for those who are long in the scene, they know Thug. The guy, he's a great friend, by the way. We discovered after we met, when we both volunteered to become staff, that he lived like an hour from me. And we've hung out since then, spent a weekend together, hanging out. The guy is just a great guy. And, you know, shout out to him and his family. You know, he's been rocking the space and community theater up in Minnesota here. And he's just kicking ass at life like usual. That guy is awesome. And but I met so many other great people, like Beth Kahn, another OG. Shout out Beth, just kick-ass person, great person. Did so much for Trank. My gosh, she brought a steady hand, a steady voice to everything we did there. NPC, again, another one of those old timers. He's older than me. You know, I still check in with him from time to time. Miss the guy to hell. That guy's amazing. Working with him was such a joy. He brought so much passion and joy to the scene, to what we were doing. And it was just so much fun with him. And then again, just so many great people along the way too. You know, obviously people like Glitch became heavily involved in Trank administration, Try, Smarties, people that are now with me in SPCS. I started with them in Trank, and just getting to know these amazing people has been probably one of the greatest joys that I've had in my adult life. Is just getting the opportunity to work with these people on this project. And in Trank and then now in SPCS, like it's just all these people were fantastic, and that includes Cav. And I think a lot of people like focus too much on the end of what happened in Trank. And don't get me wrong, I'm still really, I don't even think I'm angry anymore. I think I'm just sad with how things ended. Do I feel like looking back on things could have ended in a more positive light? Yeah, I do. I don't think I think things got taken way out of context and way out of hand with regards to how our professional relationship ended. I think I had a little bit of animosity towards him at the time too, if I'm being honest with you, speaking to myself, because I kind of felt saddled with the burden in a lot of ways of dealing with some of the negative aspects of the community. Whether, in the end, I became the public face of Trank for a very long time. For basically, I would argue I was the most forward facing member of Trank for at least seasons 3 through 12, and that's no slight on Cav. Cav was handling most of the back end stuff at the time. I respect what he was doing, and what he was doing was instrumental to our success at the time. But I ended up eating a lot of shit because I was the guy who faced and bore the burden of the community. And it was not a great time for me too, mentally. I was struggling with a lot of stuff. I just had my first kid was 3, and I was just about to have my second kid. And I wasn't in the best headspace at the time. Things weren't always perfect. I was actually in the process of losing my job because our company folded that I was working for. And it was just like, there's a lot of bad stuff happening back in season 3 and 4 of Trank that a lot of people don't know behind the scenes. I was not in a good mental headspace at all. I was back in a very bad one. And combine that with the bullshit you have to put up with in the tournament administration scene. My God, I can't say enough how rough those days were. The death threats, I've had my life threatened, I think 5 times now running tournaments. This is Overwatch tournaments, and I've had my life threatened. I've had people dox me. I've had my family threatened. I've had my family insulted. I've had my dead grandparent laughed at. I've had my daughter who has her own special needs and my son who has special needs. Both of them do. And I love them to death. I will protect them with every ounce and fiber of my being. But I've had them threatened. I've had them made fun of and mocked. And countless shots at me as a person, whether it's my physical appearance or my emotions. It's been hard. It's been a hell of a journey. And like I ended up eating a lot of shit, a lot in Trank, because I was the forward-facing guy. And I'll level with you on that. I think because of that, I held animosity towards Cav. I did. Things happened at the end, and I don't want to throw Cav under the bus. It's not appropriate or fair to him. We had a professional disagreement, and that's what ended Trank. I did not want to be with Trank anymore after things happened, and there were a lot of people on my staff, once they found out what was going on, they ended up coming with me. They ended up siding with me. And I think a lot of that is because at that point I had taken such a predominant role within Trank where I was basically running everything. Even the back end I was starting to run at that point. Cav had taken much more of an advisory role at that point. And that's okay. What he had done, he had so much going on in his life. He had a new kid. He had a lot going on. And I can't hold that against him as a person because he needed to focus on other priorities. But at the same time, I held a lot of animosity towards him. And I think that's what led to Trank's demise. What's a bummer about that whole situation is because of the animosity, because of that, and because Cav was so intertwined with a lot of friends that I already had, it ended up really hurting me on a social level. I lost a lot of friends over the situation. And it still bothers me to this day that things have ended the way they did with a lot of really great people that I knew for almost a decade. And he also knew them, and I can't hold anything against them, but the way things ended was so sour and negative that I lost longtime friends over it, and it still hurts me. It still hurts me, and it is what it is at this point. And I wish things were different, and I wish Trank ended on a note where I could really celebrate the end of Tranquility the way I think that tournament deserved, because that tournament was something really special. It was a really special community. And, I remember vividly the day that we closed the final podcast broadcast. And that was something that I ran that. And it was me coming back to the Iris for the first time in years at that point. I hadn't done it in a couple of years. And I came back to it, and I wanted to run it again just for one last time so I could say goodbye and thank everybody, because despite everything, Trank did a lot for me on a personal level. It gave me a passion project to help people and to create a space where everybody could feel welcome and safe. It gave me that passion and that drive to create an environment where everybody truly felt part of something big. And I will always hold that near and dear to my heart. And I got very emotional the day Trank closed, or the day that I closed that broadcast. Because on a personal level, for me, I'm, at the time it closed, I was 35 years old. I'm autistic. I'm a boomer. I'm emotional. And it was a lot for me that people enjoyed being part of something that I helped create, to the point where people truly were emotional and sad about what I had helped do. And I will never stop. Like, I can't express enough how much gratitude I have for the people in this community who took me in and let me do these things for them, because that meant a lot to me. The fact that they trusted me to create this environment, to create a place like Trank, and to continue to run it as long as I did. And the fact that people continue to come to SPCS. Like, yeah, it's a lot of work, and yeah, it's stressful, but I cannot express enough gratitude that for the people who've been chosen to be part of this very special thing. And for me, that was with Trank ending. It was just such an outpouring of people saying, thank you to me and thank you for what Trank did. And I, speaking of keeping reasons to come back right there, Dex, like, my God, man. It still makes me emotional. You can kind of hear my voice, I'm sure. Like, it's incredible. I've never felt so welcomed in a space where I truly don't feel like I don't deserve that adulation or respect. I don't. I'm just doing my best, man. I'm vibing. I'm trying to, scuff my way through everything I'm doing, and I'm doing my very best. And it's not always the easiest thing in the world, but in the end, man, Trank was such a special thing, and I'm really sad about how it ended. I've moved on in every way I can, but even reminiscing here now, man, I tell you that the way it ended is just, it still irks at the back of my brain, and I wish things could have gone better, not just for me, but for all the people who I think deserve it. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Cav got a lot of heat when Trank ended. He didn't deserve it. And I will fight anybody who argues against it. I think we had a very bad disagreement and it ended it. But I think Cav gets a lot of negative heat. But if Trank wouldn't have existed or wouldn't have turned into what it was without his support. And in the end, I think a lot of people credit me for Trank's success. There's a lot of people behind the scenes who made Trank work. I am just a piece of that puzzle, a very small piece of that puzzle. And everybody from the staff to Cav, to all the staff members, to the production people, to the casters who even did 1 or 2 matches, like every single one of those people made it a success. And that's what it was. So I speak with Trank with such love because it truly was a passion, and that's just yeah. I could ramble for hours, Dex. I really could. Trank meant so much to me, man.
And it meant a lot to me as well. And like that's one thing. Like I'll always say, like, my start in this entire thing, like, yeah, I could say, okay, I got my start in college, but I always will say I got my real start with casting in Trank. And I hated to see it go. But before we move on to a lighter subject, probably with SPCS, I remember, like, the last broadcast, the last grand finals, how many people showed up just in the prod call. I think it was the most I've ever seen of that. Wasn't like, okay, here's like everyone, here's a meeting and there's like 50, 60 people in there. I remember there being 30 people.
I remember it. Yeah,
I also remember
it.
I also remember this was the first time. Why did this not pop up? This was the first time that they started messing around with the text in one of the boxes above the teams, and I was grabbing all of them.
I was helping do that too. I remember that. I was part of that. I remember that really well. I was sitting in the prod call and just chatting with everybody while we were doing it. It was so much fun, man, that night. I had such a blast. I love the joint SPCS, by the way, there. That was great.
Shout out the Trank's last map being new
yeah,
money.
I know, right? Oh, God. I loved that night, man. It was so much fun. And I remember when that match ended and the broadcast ended, and I just sat there and I legit cried. Did not have an open mic for that. I just sat there and cried just because it was so cool to be surrounded by, again, the amount of respect I have for people who do esports prod and esports production is just insane. And this is not just me kissing your guys' ass. This is just genuine, like, personal feeling. Like, you guys kick ass because you guys, a lot of this stuff isn't paid. It's volunteer. It's passion. It's love for what we do and this cool place, this thing that we've created. And yeah, there's paid opportunities out there and we're taking them when we get them. But at the same time, like, a lot of what we do is unpaid and we do it because we love it. We love what we do. And it just felt so amazing to be surrounded by so many people in that, and there's everybody just had this same level of care, and it was amazing. It was just something I can't relate the emotions enough from that night. It was just such a cool experience, just sitting down there with everybody and being a part of that.
Yeah, it was really fun and sad, but fun.
Oh yeah.
But let's move on to new thing here now.
Sure.
Especially because, hey, it's starting its third season or stage
right now.
Right now,
literally matches went live 15 minutes ago.
While we're
and
recording
I'm like,
this.
While we're recording this, I have been sitting here like looking in chats, like, okay, is everybody okay? Is everybody going okay here? Nobody need anything? Like, I've been like frantically checking everything to make sure everything's okay. And it looks like we're fine. So I'm not that stressed over anything, but like, it seems like everything is going well. And we have this rule where we don't say it's a quiet night. The Q word. We never say quiet in the staff chat in Trank or in SPCS or Trank. Because the second you say it's a quiet night, something goes wrong. But right now, it looks okay. I'm not saying the Q word. It looks good. It looks good so far.
Never say, okay, this is going to be an easy series. This is going to be an easy
never,
series. We have everything ready. The moment you say something, it's like, well, fuck. We just cursed it into happening. Casters get blamed for it the most of the time, but there are also times where it's just like, well, the prod was talking about this beforehand, and oh dear God, we're now going to a map 6 and a best of 5.
SPCS started as an idea that I wanted to continue doing this. I wanted to continue running tournaments. I wanted to continue to be a part of it. I wanted to take the good things that I learned and turn it into truly my own thing. I wanted this to be my creation. And the problem is I just didn't have I didn't have 100% motivation to do it myself. I really didn't. I was struggling to find my motivation because I was sad. I was frustrated with how Trank ended. And it was just like, I didn't want to just do this thing. What motivated me to continue was just amount of staff who really wanted to come with me. Glitch, Dorito, Try, Smarties, all of them, they jumped right in and they said, we're in with you no matter what. throw in Potato, throw in, like Gios, Seraph, Stella. They all were just like, let's do this thing. And Stella really ran with it early on and helped create a lot of the branding behind SPCS. Stella also created that amazing Trank tribute video that's still on the Trank Twitter. If you ever go back and look at that incredible video was all Stella. And she also created a lot of the SPCS hype stuff that kind of launched the origination of SPCS, our branding, everything like that. She was behind the creation of that. Navino was a big part of the early conversations about how can we make this place, what can we do, what can we learn, how can we continue to make tournaments successful in this scene. And it just kind of suddenly everybody came in this collaboration, and I was just like, let's do this thing, guys. And I'm gonna level with you. Since SPCS has started, my life has done a million new things, and I just have so little time anymore. And, it's become a situation now where I feel like a lot more of an advisor for the rest of the staff. I'm still plugging away. I'm still doing what I can. I'm still contributing where I can. But a lot of things, I'm just letting them sort through at this point. Like, I've just been so damn busy because, like I said, obviously I'm in a new place for those who've seen me before. I just moved. This whole summer has been devoted to that on top of several other things that have been going on this summer. This fall, my daughter is in middle school now. She's going to be going to start her own like musical theater stuff now in middle school. Plus now, I used to do theater. The last time I did theater when I was 17 years old. And this fall, I'm going to be going back into theater. My daughter convinced me, but I'm going to be going back into theater for the first time in 20 years, doing a production of an amazing show called Our Town, which if you've never heard of, Our Town. Yes,
Yep.
Our Town. Yeah,
Mega.
thank you. Yep, Mega's very excited.
You can.
I literally did that show last year with my college. Literally, we did that last year.
Love Our Town. Love Our Town. Amazing show. Really excited to do it. Even if I just end up in a very small role, I'll still be thrilled. I love that show. And again, it's been 20 years since I've done theater. So just have the opportunity to do it again is very meaningful to me. So for me, this is just a remarkable time in my life where I am going through so many different things now. I'm doing so many different things. And now my family is starting to do so many different things. Like my daughter is in love with musical theater, and she just is completely addicted to it. And her school just announced that they're doing Frozen for their musical this fall, and she is just losing her mind over it. And so it's just like everything's just gotten so damn busy. And now I'm going to be doing my theater thing. So it's just like I don't have the time I used to devote to this scene anymore. But I still devote what I can. I'm on my Discord on my phone probably 2 or 3 hours a day, just chatting with people, trying to keep things moving or checking in on things. But in the end, like I have an amazing group of people in the staff who really make things work and really make things function. It's incredible. Like I've talked about Glitch, Smarties, Potato, Try, Smugs, Monty. Those are all the division admins who've been busting their ass for the last 2-3 weeks to try to get rosters locked in before tonight. Just they're incredible. Monty, brand new to the staff, by the way, came in immediately like, yeah, I'll do this. And has been just kick ass on the roll. Same with Smugs. I worked with Smugs for the first time, 8 years ago when he helped out with Trank staff back then. He has been amazing since he helped out here. Glitch is always, he's just been like Glitch. He has been a rock of this staff forever. And like Glitch said something to me once in a personal conversation. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. If there's any real like grinder, like absolute like giant in this scene who goes super unappreciated from a tournament administration aspect, it's Glitch. Just straight leveling with you, like he rocks. Same with Potato. Potato is an absolute killer behind the scenes. Just so much stuff, weighs in so much. Same with Dorito, same thing. Dorito ran so many things behind the scenes over the last 2 years. It's mind-boggling. And I mean, just working with these great people has enabled me to continue to do things that I need to do in my real life that are just far more important than SPCS, no offense. But being with these amazing people has enabled me to continue these passion projects while also being able to take a step back from the labor aspect of the job. Because in the end, going from something I had to do 20, 30 plus hours a week of manual entering, fixing, whatever. Not to mention partnering with Solomon has been just an absolute treat. That guy, God, I love Solomon. Dude is the fucking Thanos of esports. My God. Just like working with him has been a joy at every aspect. Plus, being able to use the Solomon GG platform has changed our ability to be successful. Just straight up, we wouldn't be successful without him. Just
I don't think there's how many people out there, like as just a casual fan, whether it be of SPCS or EPL or hell even WCS, Owl, now Face It broadcast as well. They do not understand how much of an how much Solomon might have his hands in a lot of stuff. Deadlock as well, Rivals.
Oh my gosh.
I think there's 3 or 4 people out there that I could say that I could fully believe in. They could go to any esport and find success in it, and Solomon is definitely in that top 4. Hell, they might be that person who's sitting number 1. They can go to any other esport and be able to find success in it with what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Straight up, there's no question, absolutely no question in my mind. So, but yeah, being able to partner with him has enabled me to continue SPCS, despite everything going on in my life where I've not been able to commit as much time to what I'm doing anymore. I still have these people who I'm able to trust and delegate to and say, this is what we need done. Can you help me out with this? And they step right up and do it. So I've said before, I said this with Trank, I'm going to say it a million times over with SPCS. Yes, I own SPCS. Yes, I'm the final say in a lot of things at SPCS. But in the end, like I am very merely a cog in the gears that make SPCS run. And I cannot say enough just how amazing, again, and how very lucky I am to have so many people surrounding me in that tournament to enable me to be successful. And it's all because of them. If it wasn't for them, there's ain't no goddamn way SPCS would be good. It'd be bad. It'd be terrible because I suck at most of the things that they do. So I cannot say enough. Just the amazing group of people around me is what enables me to do what I do. And SPCS is the prime example, man. These people kick ass. And that's what keeps me coming back to SPCS every day is because those people just rock and they make me want to do this. They make me want to be better. And it's just like, that's awesome. Can't ask for anything better than that, man. They drive me. And I love it. I love it.
I completely missed the first week signups for this week, so I'm not casting any SPCS games. But it's also, I think it's just gonna be very difficult for me to cast any SPCS up until Face It ends, like 2.5 weeks point.
Yeah, we're struggling for observers right now too. So really? I understand. Yeah. Oh yeah. Observers are we have very few of them right now. It's quite bad actually. We're gonna be. I think Person is actually running solo prod tonight. So
yeah, he is because like we added the fucking bawling gif of me as a joke. I think the first week of season or stage 1, he sent me a picture saying, "Yeah, it's still there."
That's because it's amazing and nobody wants to change it.
It's really funny that
It's really funny that the Dexatron balling is still. It's still there.
That Papa Shop's not in my house anymore. It hasn't been in my house for almost 8 months at this point.
It's just Dexatron balling, man. That stuff that's part of the lore now, man. It's part of the lore of SPCS. It's always been there. It's just part of the lore, you know. So
yeah, but it's surprising that it's observers because it always like I felt like the last couple seasons of Trank it was okay, we don't have play-by-plays, and then it was okay, we don't have colors, then we don't have producers, and now SPCS is like okay, now we need observers, which it like is interesting, but at the same time I understand it. But I feel like SPCS is a really good place to get like your introduction into maybe working the prod side of stuff.
Well, definitely, especially because of the Solomon GG platform. And like it just gets you, it's very easy. It's very easy to integrate into it. And I've tried telling people over and over again, like, if you want to get into esports right now, if you want to get into paid opportunity in esports, one of the best ways to do that is in the observing side. Because speaking from talking to a lot of casters, knowing a lot of casters, paid opportunities aren't exactly everywhere right now in casting. There's not a lot of them. Same with production, being a producer. A lot of great producers already kind of have bogarted that area of where the paid opportunities are. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're fantastic at what they do. Shout out to all of them. But observers are always a hot commodity. Because if you want to have that 5-6 person observing team where you can get that perfect angle, you can have steady cam overhead, or you can have the POVs on each team. You can have that set up. You can have the free cam going at all times, and then a couple really cool like different steady shots at different locations of the map. Like, how can you have all these producers, these production teams work together? And it's with great observers. And like, I cannot say enough. And this is coming from me as a person who hates that. I'm so bad at observing, but like, and I like, if people want to break into esports, observing is where it is right now. And that is such an easy way to break in and find opportunities, because observers are always in demand. Always. Producers, always in demand. So casters, maybe it's a good thing I got out of it. I don't want to take. That's part of the reason why I stopped casting, by the way, in Trank near the end of Trank, and why I don't cast in SPCS, even though I had time early on, is because I run the thing. I don't need to broadcast it. Let's let other people do it. I have enough shit on my plate to not have to like put myself out there even more and broadcast these things. So I'd rather just let other people do it at this point in my life, because I'm just like, I need to take my hands off. But I actually talked to Headrammer, and maybe there might be something for me in CGL in the near future. Who knows? We'll see.
That'd be fun. But
wink, wink.
I remember there was a joke like within one of the first couple seasons of Trank that I was in, where I think it was Hippie that made it. The joke was, yeah, there's the caster to observer pipeline, because there were so many people that would cast and then go over to observing and just stayed there. And I'm not saying that's the case for. That's much the case anymore, but you still do see a lot of people who want to have like a little bit of want to know how to do a little bit of everything. Like Mega has done that. Hunter has really learned that here, doing all the face it things. I've kind of learned it when I've needed to, but like Hunter and Mega really have done it a lot more. And like Hunter, you can probably definitely tell that you've gotten a lot better with it. Mega, I imagine you're still probably a lot better than me at it, but like. From going over, and this is mostly just a question for Hunter and Mega, like going over from someone who was casted a lot to potentially doing observing. Like, I know it's different with what you do, mostly Hunter with Face It, but like, has that really helped you guys be able to necessarily go from being a caster to more?
From a perspective, yes, because as both on the sides of being a caster and being observer, you know what realistically to expect at a lot of these fights, and obviously some people are different. No two observers are made alike, as we know quite well on our side over here of Overwatch. But for me, casting for all these years, it becomes really easy for me to go with the simple things of like, who do I need to go onto on this fight? Who haven't I shown for a while? Like, where do I think is the most interesting angle? And obviously, when it's when it's just one person doing solo prod, I don't have the ability to be like, oh yeah, like here's my third person cam, like here's my God, I can't think of all the terms. See, I'm not fully versed quite yet, but I don't have one that hangs up head. I don't have a third person. I just have my first person, and I decide to go back and forth, back and forth. It's very basic, but it's easier for me because I understand as a caster of, hey, this is where I would like this to be. And then it's like, oh, I can just make it there now. I can just do that. So when I go and do a regular cast, because it's basically 50-50 between face and a regular cast, I'll go to a regular cast and I'm like, I'll go to click a button. I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. Shit. I'm not the one doing that.
I mean, I don't know. For me personally, I'm going to be so real. My observing has been ass, will always be ass, right? Like,
It's better than mine.
I mean, better than yours, but by how much? See, like, it's just one of those things of, people who try to be like, oh, anybody can observe. You just sit with a controller and you spectate the people. Wrong, violently incorrect. But people they like to just sit there and try to boil it down to what it, these very basic terms that it just isn't. There's a nuance, there's a skill that you have to develop with, making sure you're on the right person, making sure your angles look good, POV versus free cam, then setting up all those overheads and stuff like that. There's so much that goes into it. My heart goes out to any and all observers because, they do work that I simply can't because, I am very much a yapper person. I can use my words. I cannot sit there with a controller 10 hours a day and try to figure out the exact angle I need on this fight to capture it in the best way possible for everybody watching.
I mean, we've had a decent number of observers on, and I mean they're very much locked in, but we also know they like to find all the little things in all the maps. Whether like I'll always go back to the chair, whether it be like on icon, no, on a watch point, or just focusing on a chair in the middle of a fight in on Blizzard World. Like it's like they are. We've talked about a lot. They are some of the best people that we like in the production, but like at the same time, at a moment's notice, they could be going from locked in to, oh wow, they found a bug, and it's just kind of like, I'm just gonna watch this bug.
Okay, actually, listen, this is something that probably not everybody's going to understand, but if you've ever watched the show Total Drama Island,
God.
99%
Oh,
of
God.
observers give off Izzy energy.
Oh
Where it's
God.
a 50-50 between, hey, I'm locked in and doing these amazing things, and hee hee, I like shoe polish, hee hee. Like, there's just no in between. It's like a pendulum swinging.
Fucking I like shoe polish.
Quite the memory.
Dex just writing down the note, shoe polish.
That's a clip.
The clip of all
That's a
time.
clip.
I have to figure it out because I've written down a couple ones for clips. I mean, but right now SPCS is starting its third stage, and I mean it's gotten better. I think as it's gone on, much like how anything normally does. But like, what do you think is necessarily the next step with SPCS? I know there was 4 divisions when SPCS started, but probably was the best move to go away from the open division.
Yeah, God, yes, it was. It's so funny because I mean, Blizz keeps throwing us these freaking curveballs about with changing ranks and all this crap, and thanks, Blizz. But like, and now we have the new rank reset where they're like, well, we're gonna expand champion a little bit more. It's like, okay, great, cool. This means a lot now because now people are in higher ranks, and then there's some people in lower ranks now, and everything's trying to refigure that out. And what we're discovering more and more is despite plat and gold being the place where the predominant majority of the player base is, the predominant majority of the player base doesn't give 2 shits about competitive tournaments. So now, sneak peek of Series 4, good chance we're going to be moving the ranks upward overall, including rookies probably going to go up to a mid-diamond or higher level over average. For teams, and then from there expect advanced and intermediate to kind of rise individually. Advanced might end up being like straight up GM top, like maybe even low champion, who knows. But it just kind of depends on how ranks end up sorting out. We're still collecting data and trying to figure it all out, but yeah, going from 4 to 3 was a really necessary thing. And no offense to the top end of Overwatch, but none of them gave a shit about SPCS, and quite frankly, they shouldn't. There's better opportunities out there for them. Go get those opportunities. Just straight up leveling with you guys. It's if you're a champion level player and you're looking at SPCS saying, "Man, I want to play in SPCS," no, you go play elsewhere. There's a lot of really cool tournaments out there that'll give you better opportunity than SPCS will. And quite frankly, a lot of the people who were in Premier when Premier was around, they cared more about Face It, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't take it personally. Nobody did. It's just like, yep, this is business. This is how it goes. So let's move on. We phase it, Premiere no longer. See you later. So I don't know. Ranks are everywhere right now, man, and trying to figure out everything with Blizz keeps changing their MO every single reset is just an exhausting experience from beginning to end. So it's okay.
I haven't touched rank yet. This mostly just because I normally wait what?
Said I'm afraid.
I normally just wait a week.
Y'all are afraid?
Yeah.
Y'all are afraid. I've been queuing like 10 hours a day the past 3 days.
I've been just becoming Stadium. You know?
I just finished the Luca challenges, and I'm probably never touching Stadium again until there's another challenge.
Stadium is so much fun. Bro.
It's fun. It's fun, but at the same time, it's like I just want to sit there sometimes and like play the heroes that I like to play who aren't in Stadium yet.
Listen, I don't know nothing about Stadium, but this is just me segueing to humble brag about myself. Yes, ranks are absolutely inflated right now, but I'm currently diamond on all 3 roles, so I'm taking that dub and running all the way to the bank with it. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like if I actually queued, I could probably get all my roles in diamond, considering I ended support in like diamond 3 and tank and DPS was sitting at both at like high plat 1.
Pretty good.
Actually, while I was queuing today, fun fact, I discovered another bug that they haven't fixed yet for some reason.
No.
I was playing Echo and I tried to duplicate a already coalescing Moira, and my game instantly crashed. Like, did not even like it froze for a second. Like, the game closed out and it even popped up the little like crash like report thing, which you never see that with Overwatch. That shit never actually pops up. So I was like, oh, this is a crash. This is great.
Report it, maybe you'll get something.
No, it's one of those things where I just kind of looked at my screen. I was like, that game was lost anyway, but what in the hell? What are we doing, Overwatch?
Every 9 seasons, they're just gonna add a whole bunch of stuff to the game that will just mess it up. Because remember, season 9 was the one where we're gonna change around damage percentages and the hitboxes. That still, or ammo things and the hitboxes. Can't wait for season 27 to see how they break the game even more.
I don't even want to talk about it. Anyways.
Next, the heroes that somehow break the game or are dead in the ground the moment they enter the game.
Power creep is a real thing.
Listen, power creep can be a thing, but actually, Dex, can I do my thing now, or are we too early? You think?
If you want to do it now, you can do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, but while you're slightly disgruntled, MisterYeti, we have a lovely bit here that I completely stole. I mean, is original. And originally I had this bit here to spew hate and vigor. But it seems as though that it's 10 times funnier to ask people about the petty stuff instead. So you can choose whatever you want to talk about, but I am here to ask you, what is one thing about running tournaments, doing anything in esports that you have over the years that really grinds your gears?
Okay, you want to know what really grinds my gears? Here's what really grinds my gears. No, here's what really grinds my gears when it comes to Overwatch administration. The fucking jackass people who think they're top shit, who think that just their shit doesn't stink, no matter what they say. They've never, and this is me speaking as a fucking boomer, parent, whatever. The things that drive me nuts more than anything else is the fucking people who come in, probably have never been disciplined once in their life by their goddamn parents, thinking they're top shit, saying whatever the hell they want, just spouting off, annoying the shit out of everybody, talking crazy shit constantly. That's all they do, is just shit talk and mock people and just be general assholes constantly. Like, that's their one thing they know how to do, is just be like an internet asshole. And then like I just say, like, as a tournament administrator, community administrator, I don't want to have anything to do with you, so I'm banning you. Like, none of us do. Like, the staff looks at these people being absolute jackasses and they're like, yeah, you're gone. You're an asshole. None of us want you to be around. And then they go and they're like, oh, please, MisterYeti, please, I want to come back to SPCS. Like, no, fuck you. Like, I don't give a shit if you want to come back to SPCS. You're a fucking asshole. You haven't learned shit. You're a piece of shit to everyone around you. And I don't feel bad about the fact that you're not here, because everybody else is happier that you're gone. because you're a fucking asshole. Like when I have people like pinging me on Twitter, like, please let me come back to Overwatch to SPCS. Like, no, fuck you. You're incredibly annoying. Like there's this guy who will remain nameless, Rizzoli, who was pinging me like a week ago on Twitter. Like, please let me come back to Overwatch SPCS after posting shit disparaging, like the most soy boy Overwatch tournament of all time. Like, first of all, fuck you. Anybody who calls anything soy boy, you're the biggest fucking crock. That's the biggest fucking crock of shit I've ever heard. The most projection I've ever heard. You're a fucking coward. Some fucking 18-year-old who hasn't left their basement. Like, it's the biggest soy boy type shit. Fuck you, buddy. Just because you got bullied in high school doesn't mean you need to act like a dipshit on the internet. Like that. There you go. There's my opinion. Anyways, I can keep going off, by the way, if you want me to, Dex. But
keep going.
But this guy, like, he just posts like this, like, yeah, SPCS, big soy boy tournament, just like, and then like I see it, and I, being a sarcastic person that I am, I just see it and I like it. It's like, yeah, that's funny. I like it. And then within 5 minutes, please unban me, MisterYeti. And it's just like, no, fuck you. Like, you're a fucking douchebag, and you got banned because you posted homophobic shit in the Discord. So fuck you, bud. Like, no. Like, and there's so many people like that, for the record, who post just absolute vile shit. And they're just like talking so much shit about everyone and like saying the nastiest things about people. And like, I get rid of them because we don't want them around us. None of the staff do. I don't ban people unless the staff are behind me. That's the first thing I'm going to say is I don't just unilaterally ban people. I have staff behind me who I say like, yeah, I'm getting rid of them. Everybody cool with that, you know? And they're like, yeah. You know, there's been one time where I banned somebody and, you know, I walked it back because the rest of the staff called me out on it, and they were right. They were right. But like, I still see that instance with this guy, and it's like, no, fuck you, buddy. Like, I'm not inviting you back. And then I got these people, these motherfuckers who just got banned from BPL because they were draft manipulating there and they were annoying the shit out of everybody there. And they're in my DMs, my staff DMs, like, please invite us back. We didn't do anything wrong. We just don't know what we did. You know what you did? You're a fucking asshole and nobody likes you. That's what it is. Like, it's just like, I cannot stand people like that. And it's just like, and yeah, I'm not afraid to call it out. And yes, some people are like, oh, look at this fucking fat ass boomer running his mouth about a bunch of kids. No, fuck you. You make yourself public on the internet, you're going to get ridiculed in public on the internet. You're not special. You're not unique. Yes, you're being made fun of by this fat ass boomer because you aren't special. You aren't unique. You're just a dick. So fuck yourself. See you later, and best of luck in your future endeavors.
You know, I thought Leg Day's response last week was potentially maybe the most vicious we would get, but that one, Mega, did you ever expect that kind of answer?
That's the shit I'm looking for right there. That's like a rip a cigar.
You know what? And I'd say I kind of look a little bit like Peter Griffin too. So you know what? We'll take it.
Like,
it even makes more sense.
Unrelated, it's very important to me. Dex, can you get the gif of Shannon Sharp like lighting up a cigar, like the Pack Watch gif, please? Like, that shit deserves it. That shit's great.
Oh, I could put so many more people on blast right now if you really want me to. I could. Trust me, I could tell you with 100% certainty.
That's not.
I could name names.
We could go. Whatever. You know what I meant though.
We could go full on unhinged.
Never mind. It's asking me to download.
There it is. Wow.
Oh my god.
We could go full on unhinged with this shit, guys. I'm just saying.
We can go full on. I mean, listen, it's not like we're monetized on YouTube anyway, right? We can just send her.
We aren't monetized on anything.
Yeah.
What do you mean? We don't have monetization from the one Spotify listener that's probably just one of us? Oh, it's Beck.
It's Spectron. He's told me it's him.
I hate that guy.
The more and more we talk, the more and more we say his name, the more he's just gonna get powered up.
Listen, I'm gonna actually fist fight that man one day. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna pull up in the UK and fucking just absolutely deck him real quick.
Oh, WCS event in London. Because he's back on that fucking train again where he's arguing it's gonna be in London. Why would it not be in London?
I don't think it's ever in London. But yes, like listen again. When I started that question, those were the type of responses I was out for. Like, there's just not enough. There's not enough scalding and not enough people who are willing to just actually flat out call out names in this community. And I'm glad to see you're one of them.
You know, I will say that I will conduct the business of SPCS with the most professionalism I can. But me as a person, those who know me, I ain't professional. I will run my mouth. I will call your ass out, and I enjoy it. I am not afraid to spill tea. You know, put me in the revolution because we are spilling the tea in Boston Harbor right now. Let me tell you, and I will not stop. I am not afraid to call people out for their shit. I'm not afraid people to hold accountable for their shit too. That's just kind of my thing. Maybe it's just me not caring, and I think that sounds awful in a way, but like I just don't care about how I'm perceived on a level with a lot of these idiots. Just don't. Like, if people don't like me because I banned you from my tournament, oh no, like I don't care. Sorry. Like, right now I'm looking at my server. There's 1,000 people in there who are happy to be there, or at least somewhat happy enough to be there. Oh darn! I don't have one idiot. Darn. Like, shucks, guys. How will I survive?
I just want to say also for the people watching as we're recording this, like as he's going through this rant, this fucker casually just like does the live ping for SPCS as well.
Yes.
Which is that's just fucking killing me. The fact that you could like again, it shows exactly what you just said, where you can, you conduct the professionalism, but also just, in your own personal opinions and stuff, you speak your mind. That's hilarious.
Don't get me started. You will go down a rabbit. We will be here for hours, Megalass, hours. I got names. I got a list of names. I'm gonna start throwing people under the bus. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. But
welcome back to this week's episode of For the Love of Prod, where as you can see, it's only 17 minutes. We started naming names, and it got to a point where
Dexatron is going to cut the shit out of this episode, guys.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. And then 5 seconds later, okay, that was a good episode.
What an episode! Much. My God.
Hunter, what about your question?
Yeah, this is always a fun question. So, in the world that we live in, everybody has a gamer tag or just an alias that they use online, and everyone has, for the most part, had multiple of them. And it seems all four of us have stuck to the one that we've had for a pretty considerable amount of time. So that leads to the actual question at hand: where does MisterYeti come from?
So I'm going to start at the beginning. So when I first started gaming, I played Overwatch, or not Overwatch. I played World of Warcraft. That was my first game I got like super hardcore into. I played other games, obviously, but my first online game was World of Warcraft. And I went by the name Nami on that. Nahmee. This is before Nami, the League of Legends character, was introduced, for those who are wondering. I was the original, the OG. They copied me. Don't forget it. But that was my gamer tag for a really long time. That actually carried over into all of Battle.net. So all of my Overwatch accounts were under Nami. Now, then the League of Legends character came about, and I was just kind of like, okay, I need to change things up here. I don't really want that. Plus, also at the same time, I had quit playing WoW, so I wasn't identifying myself by my WoW character anymore. So what can I do that's a little different? And where I came up with the Yeti stuff was actually because I was looking for a new avatar on the old MMO Champion forums. That's right. I was trying to find like a retro gaming thing. And what I fell in love with was the original ski-free Yeti. So for those who don't know what that is, I'm going to see if I can find a GIF. That's this right here, and I put it in the general chat for you, Dex. That was my original thing. Was I saw that and I'm like, that's my thing. And that GIF actually was my avatar. It was that GIF, and I loved it. I was like, cool, ski-free Yeti. So I went by ski-free Yeti. That was the next iteration, was ski-free Yeti. and people kept on calling me Ski, and I was just like, sure, whatever, cool, that's fine. I always told people to say Yeti, but Ski was fine. Or they called me Ski Free, which whatever, sure. But people were like, oh, do you like to ski? I was just like, no, okay, cool, whatever. So the Mr. Yeti thing came about because I kind of got tired of the whole ski thing. I was centering around the whole Yeti stuff, not ski. And I was just like, okay, I got kind of tired of it. This is when I started running Trank. I started helping run Trank. And there's the GIF right there.
That's
there's
an image.
That's an image. Okay, yeah. So that's the image of the original, the OG ski-free Yeti. And I kind of was just like, you know what? I really want kind of my own thing, not related to necessarily, but kind of inspired by that, but not necessarily that. And I ended up, people would jokingly call me, oh, it's Mr. Yeti. Like people would be like, people call me Yeti, and I would jokingly say, well, that's Mr. Yeti to you, and then it just kind of stuck. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to roll with Mr. Yeti. And then I changed everything. I think season 4 of Trank is when I went by Mr. Yeti instead of Ski Free. And that just kind of stuck. And I just kind of loved it. And I loved it. And I ended up having like art done so I could have my own like stuff and like or my own pictures and things like that for like avatars and emotes and things for my Twitch stream and all that fun stuff. And it just kind of like, it's stuck and I kind of love it. And so now I go by Yeti for a lot of people. Some people just call me Yeti, which is what I prefer if I'm being honest with you. But people who call me Mr. Yeti, they call me Mr. Yeti because that's just Mr. Yeti to you, But it's one of those things where it just kind of stuck, and it's kind of a little bit of a joke based around the fact that I run these tournaments and stuff like that. It's because like it's Mr. Yeti to you, that whole thing. But at the same time, it just kind of rolled with it. And now even my kids know my gamer tag, which is funny to me because I have Yeti as my profile on the Switch and stuff. And they're like, why is it Yeti, Dad? And I had to explain it to them. And my son thinks it's the most hilarious thing in the world.
Is it not bad?
Yeah, why is it not Dad? But no, I just stuck with it now because of that little joke. And I just like, you know what? I'm gonna roll with it. It's Mr. Yeti from now on. So that's ever since then, that's been the name.
I mean, it is a good name, but like going back with what you were saying, just with shortening it down to Yeti. I mean, all of us here basically do that. Like, I think the only time people ever call me Dexatron is the first time they meet me. Same thing with probably Hunter, and probably honestly the same thing with Mega as well.
It's funny because I think that's half the thing with me. With like people say, "Oh, it's Mr. Yeti," but it's Mr. Yeti because they don't know me. Once they know me, it's just Yeti. So,
yeah, I'm just Hunter. That's just Dex. That's just Mega.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it becomes. When I see someone say Huntertain, I'm like, oh, okay,
what?
Cool.
Hunter,
that's fine.
Hunter, what if they just didn't call you Hunter? They just called you Tane.
That's happened a couple times. A lot of people who originally, when I was on broadcast, because remember I was a player, has been on stream several times. Ha ha hee ha. A lot of times, casters called me Huntertrain. I don't know where the extra R comes from. I've been called Huntertaint, which is also fun.
Okay, wait, that's just a good one.
My old teammates, SPCS Series 1 actually. Castle Guy Crows. Those guys always called me a Huntertaint. It was hilarious. It was always funny.
See, for mine, like I've never had issues in terms of like broadcast, like Megalass. It, generally people can read, but whenever I do like VTuber stuff, like interacting with other VTubers and stuff like that, half of them want to call me fucking Meg, and it pisses me off to no end. I'm like, you're just missing one letter. I'm not a Family Guy character. Pretty please, for the love of God.
like, shut up, Meg.
Genuinely, I have cut ties with VTubers who like wanted to be my friend and shit because they refused to stop calling me Meg. I'm like, fuck you, eat shit. I do not want to talk to you.
Yeah, like I've faced the wrath of Mega when I accidentally missed the A and hit the caps lock key instead. She left. It was one of the podcast episodes. She left because she had to go somewhere. I accidentally misspelled her name. She came back in and ripped me for about a solid minute and a half.
Yep.
I mean, I'd argue deserved.
It's that big of a pet peeve for me, like genuinely.
I've had a couple people call me Mister, and that is weird. Whenever I see that, it's just like, stop, ew, I don't like it at all. But that's hey, you want to know what else really grinds my gears? For some reason, people have this habit of like, and it just drives me up the goddamn wall. Like, yeah, thank you. You know what really is it when people are like, "Oh, Yeti, you're the GOAT, you're the best," you know. And it's just like, stop. I don't like that. I hate when people are like, "Thanks, GOAT, thanks, King." It's just like, oh, just stop. Like, don't you have a father figure or somebody to look up to? Like, come on, man. Like, it's just like I can't. Like, don't call me GOAT. Don't call me King. I'm just a dude doing this shit. I don't need this. Like, I don't mind if people are saying like, dude, you're the GOAT of what you do. Like, I take it as a compliment. But like, TY GOAT, TY King. It's just like, oh, shut up. Stop it.
Dex, we need a quotes channel immediately, and that's the first fucking entry. Don't you have a father figure to look up to? Oh my fucking lord, that's great.
Just get Echo. Get Echo.
Oh Lord.
I'm not wrong though. Tell me I'm wrong. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just a fucking Overwatch. I'm just a tournament admin, man. Like,
you're not
come
wrong.
on.
You're not wrong. But like
TY King, TY
those
GOAT.
those words at a certain point just. I think the word "goat," in my opinion, has lost like the most.
Yes,
it doesn't
all meaning.
Yeah, it's lost all fucking meaning. Yeah, you just say anyone's the fucking goat now. Like, okay, yeah, cool.
Yo, this janitor cleaning up the lunchroom is the GOAT, right?
Go to janitor, man. It's like, no, God, guy's just trying to like make a living so he can like support a family. But no, this guy's the GOAT. Some dumbass kid just like, this guy's the GOAT, man. Look at him riding around on his little like riding mop thing. Like, look at him. He's the GOAT, man. He's so cool. Like, no, he probably hates his job and hates working with dipshits like you. Like, just.
This is by far the number one "We Hate Kids" episode.
Hey, that's a funny story about that because I remember so when I was in Trank, I had a staff member, Chimanzi. Great, love Chimanzi, great guy. It's so funny because we had a terrible relationship when we first started out because he was an absolute shithead. He'll admit this himself, I'm pretty sure, but he was an absolute shithead. We reconciled a lot. He became a huge asset to Trank when we were going through everything we were. Loved working with him. Great dude. Then he just disappeared, vanished, and went to do his own thing, and that's okay. But great dude. But he had. So there was this guy from this team, and they were just the biggest group of shitheads. They were just jerks, and then we caught them cheating. And the guy went on Twitter and posted this big thing about how it was this big long Google Doc back when you could post Google Docs to Twitter or whatever, or back, but everybody was doing like my experience in Tranquility. That was the meme. My experience in Tranquility. Hilarious. It is this long thing about how like everything was great except for Yeti. Yeti hates kids. Yeti doesn't like this. It's Yeti this, Yeti that. And I'm just reading it. I'm just like, this is so fucking funny. This is so funny. And Chimanzi, who was like 15 at the time, was my assistant, like my direct assistant. Working with him again, incredible. That dude rocked. And 15, so he's a kid. He's just a kid. But the first response to that was Chimanzi going, yeah, Yeti hates kids. That's why he appointed me, a 15-year-old, as his director, as like his most direct assistant. Like, I never was about hating kids. I just hate shitheads. I don't care what age you are. If you're 14 or if you're 34, if you're a shithead, I will call you out for being a shithead. You're on the internet, bud. Hate to break it to you. Like, don't be a shithead. You're going to get called out for it. So it's just like, and I didn't feel bad in that situation. They fucking cheated. And they ran their mouth about how bad Trank was and how big bad MisterYeti was. And it was so funny just watching them get absolutely owned on Twitter over it. And that stuff is catharsis to me, man. Like, I can deal with so many shit. Like I said, the death threats are insane. I actually had to quit briefly because of death threats, by the way. Like, I still have the screenshots because they were horrible. But like, I see that shit and it's catharsis. So it's just like, yep, this is worth my while. Just seeing this guy get absolutely owned on the internet because he's so upset that I did my job correctly, and like watching people just absolutely just tear him apart. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of like, maybe it's a little crazy for me, a boomer, to watch some kid get his ass kicked on the internet by social people. But same time, there's like, yeah, like again, if you're a shithead, you're gonna get called out for being a shithead. And I'm sorry that you're an idiot, but guess what? Sometimes that's just the sad truth of reality is you're gonna get called out, especially at a public place like the internet. I'm sorry that you chose to be an idiot. I gave you outs to not be stupid. I gave you countless chances to not be an idiot, but you decided to be a fucking idiot anyway. So sorry, we tried.
But Hunter, Mega, anything else that you guys would ask Yeti before we wrap up this episode?
No, I've gotten my laughs in. I'm good. This has been great.
Yeah. I wish I had something interesting. There's like ones brewing, but nothing that would
Yeah, you're
warrant a
good.
very fun answer. So I'm going to respectfully pass.
You're good. That's
Oh,
fine.
You want to know what
actually, looping back around to what we did at the beginning, I do have a question. We talked all about Pokemon. What is your favorite Pokemon?
Oh shit. Oh, you got me there. I'm gonna give you 3. Okay.
Fair.
And I like them all for different reasons. All right. So favorite starter of all time. I have a very, very, very soft spot for Totodile.
That's very fair.
Love,
Gen 2.
love Totodile.
I can't
Love
say who my
Totodile.
favorite star is because I will get yelled at. Apparently,
If
I
it's
know my favorite
is it
starter.
Tepig? Because if it's Tepig, a pox upon you and your
Wait.
family.
No, fuck you. Eat shit. Tepig's amazing. Fuck you.
my favorite one's Turtwig.
Oh, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Who would
That's
possibly
fine.
judge that?
That was a Sinnoh
me and-
Pokemon. Didn't I get yelled at for liking Sinnoh?
Yeah, no. I have no beef
yeah,
with the Sinnoh Dex. I have beef with the
starters are
Sinnoh
fine.
Legion.
Yeah.
The starters are fine from Sinnoh.
You got Staraptor,
Right.
Lucario. There's some cool mons in that.
So, but again, like I said, my like I have a very soft spot. Favorite starter is Totodile. Favorite like Pokemon to play in games, like the one I have to have in my party all the time, and I don't know why, because it's not even like a great Pokemon to begin with. But every game he's in, I have to have him in my game. I have to play with him. Is I have to have Tauros in my party. I always have just this very soft spot for Tauros, and I cannot explain it. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I genuinely don't. But for some reason, I've always just loved Tauros. Same with like all the normal, like straight normal Pokemon. Like I just have this weird affinity for normal Pokemons. Like I love Tauros. I love Kangaskhan. Like just the straight up normal. Like those are them. For some reason, I always have a spot for normal type. But anyways, my current age or my more current age favorite Pokemon is Hawlucha. I love Hawlucha. So, and I think part of that is because I'm a huge fan of professional wrestling. So,
Same here. Let's go.
Hey, listen, Mega Hawlucha just dropped, so you got it. Good time.
But I think that's
all
a
I
good
got, Dex.
that's a good spot to wrap up. We're not talking about hating kids.
I got more names, Dex. No, I'm just kidding.
It just kicks you from the server.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's a good point to end off on. Again, MisterYeti, thank you so much, or Yeti, thank you so much for being our guest this week, and especially with SPCS starting up, I thought it'd be no better time than now to get you in. As always, Hunter, Mega, thank you guys so much for joining me, and thank you everyone else for watching or listening, depending on how you take our podcast, I guess. Yeah, that's not the best one. Nope. Again, thank you, everyone. Make sure you tune in next week for another great episode for the Love of Prod. I don't know who the guest will be, as always. Kind of figure it out, like, again, Saturday or Sunday. You do a little bit better. But, hey, make sure you tune in next week for another great episode of For the Love of Prod. Goodbye, y'all.